may even threaten to commit suicide. But as when the abuse escalating, right?
Do remember to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for more contents.
Hi everybody, I'm Zionette Esther. So today, right, I'll be starting a new series which is talking about abuse. I'll be releasing new episodes on every Tuesday for the next 3 weeks, whereas on Thursday, right, I'll be releasing song covers that actually speaks of my thought process and emotions when I was going through the abusive period. For those who have yet to watch my abuse story, right, you may check out the link below in the description to find out more about it. So often, victims will find it hard to get out from the control of the abuser, which many people is asking why. Today, right, I'll be explaining on the cycle of abuse to give you guys a deeper understanding on why this actually happened. The first stage, right, it will be tension building stage. At this point of time, stress and strain will begin before the abuse or the violence act actually happened. The abusers tends to lash out in response to external circumstances such as family issue, work issue, physical illness, or even because they are just feeling very tired. Basically, anything and everything could contribute and could lead to the tension building. At that point of time, the abuser will be passive-aggressive towards the victim, which is what Singaporeans, we always say, pegro. So usually at this point of time, the victims, right, will be able to sense the tension and hence trying to calm the abuser down, which this one, right, will lead to the victim feeling highly anxious, to be on guard, and to be super alert on the needs of the abuser. I believe you guys have heard this saying, walking on eggshell. This is the exact feeling of a victim at that point of time. The reason being why they do this, right, is because they know that there's high chance that whatever that they do at that point of time, right, could actually trigger the abuser and hence leads to the abusive act or the violence act. The second stage, right, it will be the incident of abuse or violence. It is the act of abuse or violence actually happening at that point of time. The abuser actually release the tension on the victim. They are attempting to regain power through establishing control. There are some examples of abuse that I could list out. The first one will be physical abuse, which involve hitting, slapping, shoving, kicking, strangling, even throwing things, or any act that could cause physical injury on the victim. It is considered as physical abuse. There are also other types of abuse such as psychological abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. For example, touching of the private parts or raping, or even combined together with the physical abuse, hitting of the private parts. So next week, I will be sharing what are the red flags of abuse that you could watch out in your relationship. The third stage is reconciliation stage. This is something like a honeymoon stage. At this point of time, the abuser will tend to show themselves to be very sorry and remorseful towards the victim. They will be doing this through their words, kindness, gift, or doing some loving gesture. This, right, will actually release happy hormones in the victim and giving them an illusion that they actually got their relationship back and they actually got closer together. Some abusers, right, may even threaten to commit suicide at this point of time to prevent the victim from leaving, or some of them could even swear that they will not do this act ever again. They will not be abusive again. The fourth stage, right, it will be the calming stage. The abuser and the victim will come up together with an excuse or a justification on why the abusive or the violence act actually happened. Even though the abuser is apologetic and sorry for whatever that he or she have done, but at the same time, they will also be blaming the victim for provoking them, saying that it is their fault for causing the abuse act to happen. Or some of them could even use other factors to cover up the bad deeds that they actually done. This This will cause the victim to accept the excuses that the abuser have brought up, and also cause the victims, right, to doubt themselves and their own memories. Some of them, they could even be thinking like they shouldn't be feeling this way, or they shouldn't be affected by the abuse act or the violence act. During this period of time, right, the abuser will tend to show graciousness and kindness towards the victim and trying to resist the temptation to fall back to violence, the abusive act again, which this will lead to illusion of calm and peacefulness in the relationship. It might allow the victim to think that the abuser actually have changed their ways and not be abusive anymore. However, when new conflicts arises, right, it will go straight back to stage 1, tension building stage, hence becoming a cycle. Each abuse cycle repetition varies, but as when the abuse escalating, right, the cycle will become shorter and shorter. This means that the calm stage, right, which is stage 4, will actually become shorter and shorter. Eventually, there will not be calming stage anymore, which means that it's from stage 1 to stage 3. Going through such situation for a long time, it is very bad for the victim, not just because of the hurt that they have. They will be blaming themselves for everything that have happened, thinking that abuse act and the violence act is their fault entirely. But I just want to say that please do not put the wrongdoings and the responsibility of abuse on your own shoulder. Everybody have the choice to make whether they want to be slow to anger, to be angry, or even to do violence act. Everybody have that choice. The abuser have to take the responsibility of choosing the violent step towards the victim. Abuse is never the victim's fault. That's all for today's sharing. Next week, I will be sharing about the red flags to watch out for in a relationship. So do stay tuned for it. If you like this video, right, do like, subscribe, and share. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.